Our thing is how we work and how we operate. It must make business sense on our side.
Let me get to you, because I understand that you have retired. You're 50-0. You walked away from the game. You made a lot of money, but you did make news sometime last year when people were talking about you returning. Now, you're 43 years old, okay? I want to know where your head is at as it pertains to you.
Well, whatever reason it is that they want to see you, that reason is why you money. It's not that you just deserve the money, because it's hard to do.
Right.
I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate that much.
The man who referred to himself as the greatest of all time is currently dealing with significant difficulties. Floyd Mayweather is now involved in a significant dispute. He is accused of fraud and faces the possibility of a total financial meltdown.
I did it the hard way. You know, I'm a kid that came from poverty. I can remember being a kid living in Jersey with my mother. 7 of us living in a 1-bedroom. You know, no lights, no heat. Never cried, never complained. Just worked hard to get to where I got to in life. It's been hard.
Floyd's reputation changed when he changed his name from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather. He became a self-proclaimed symbol of prosperity and luxury, in addition to being a talented fighter with an unrivaled defense. Money became his ultimate objective, and he shifted his attention from becoming a great boxer to showing off his wealth.
You want to look at guys that never got hit? Floyd went his entire career, got hit hard like 3 or 4 times, ever.
Yeah. When he fought Diego Chico Corrales, which was one of my favorite all-time fights, you know, because it was like, there was nothing for Diego to hit, and all of a sudden he just bounced in his face, bop, left hook from like 5 feet away. That's a Mayweather that I think nobody could possibly maybe beat.
That was the Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. That was before he became Money Mayweather.
Instead of emphasizing his superior defensive abilities in the ring, he rebranded himself as a brand that flaunted riches and luxury, to become one of the wealthiest sportsmen in the world, making millions of dollars each bout and leading an extravagant lifestyle. Full HD Floyd Mayweather started off making $3 million each bout, but his fortunes didn't take off until he took the risky choice to become an independent fighter. He became the highest paid athlete in the world after making this decision, which put him on a road to earning billions of dollars. His financial legacy was unmatched due to his independence from promoters and his strategic approach to manage. His career outside of boxing conventions,
it's just complete genius.
Yes.
First of all, from just changing his style, right? He broke his hands a lot. So when he was younger, they called him Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah.
And then he changed his name to Money. And when he changed his name to Money, he turns heel.
Yeah.
He became like this guy and everybody wanted to see him get beat.
Yeah.
And he's the most unhittable guy in the history of the sport.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's interesting when fighters figure out ways to do that too, like what Floyd is doing. What Floyd is doing is so interesting. He retires from fighting and he says, I'll just start boxing people who have no chance.
but his wealth also brought with it personal stress. According to Mayweather's father, they never had a significant argument before Floyd amassed his enormous fortune. But once Floyd earned millions, their relationship deteriorated as Floyd began to spend excessively. Tension arose between him and his father as a result of his reckless infatuation with automobiles, buildings, and other extravagant expenditures. When money is involved, people change, according to his father.
Mayweather was the highest paid athlete in the world, and you won't believe why. Early in his career, Floyd partnered with a fight promoter where he was making $3 million a fight, but he wasn't satisfied. He thought he could make way more with pay-per-view and wanted out of his contract. So he bet on himself and paid his manager $750,000 to get out. And you won't believe what happened next, so drop a follow. This would prove to be a huge win for Floyd, and after going independent, he made nearly $1 billion and became the highest paid athlete in the world.
Floyd's conceit increased along with his money. He lost a number of intimate connections as a result of this personality shift, including friendships that lasted a lifetime. Mike Tyson publicly denounced Mayweather's conceit. Tyson said that there was nothing respectable about it, and that Floyd needed to control his ego and return to reality, especially given his enormous wealth.
We have never had an argument in our life, me and him. Then we had an argument on what was the name of it? HBO. We was on HBO. Then another time we argued over by the car. I'm saying, man, what is all this about now? I'm just saying, you know, and we never had no argument. All of a sudden, it is or it ain't. Sometimes, you know, hey, when people get, it ain't about me training or anything like that. People get money, man, things change. I don't care whether it's your father, mother, whoever. Father, mother, brother, sister, name it. You know, if sometimes when people get money.
Of the most talked about relationships in the entertainment business was Floyd's close connection with rapper 50 Cent. But 50 Cent claims that as Floyd's wealth grew, so did the rifts in their friendship. Floyd's infatuation with money got out of control. Floyd allegedly admitted to 50 Cent that even though they had developed a close relationship over the years, he had never requested for his assistance. Floyd's obsession with money, which ignored his legacy and the people who had supported him from the start, was primarily to blame for this schism.
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
Awesome fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like you was a movie star. You was a hero.
Floyd lost fighter Tank Davis, one of his most promising apprentices, who felt taken advantage of by Mayweather. Tank revealed that Floyd consistently placed him in a situation where he would have to rely on Mayweather, in spite of Tank severed his relationship with Davis because Floyd did not pay him enough, even though Davis had earned money from his fights.
And I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you had already invested.
Yeah. Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when... But see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly. Right. You know, so I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he going to say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I got to ask you for it?
Right.
And then when he...
Are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual, the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. He doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Tank also talked about Floyd's incapacity to deal with people who were better than him because he was envious of boxers who were more successful or seen as superior to him. even going so far as to say that Muhammad Ali was not superior. To him,
"Oh, I'm gonna be back asking you for money." Nah, why would I do that? I give her a couple dollars. I take some, whatever, whenever you need some money. You feel me? But when I was legit to be able to get out the hood, that's what I did.
Like, I had to learn that coming up, that like a motherfucker will put you in a position to always need him. And like to the world, it might look like that's a great person. But like to somebody to understand, you understand like what Kendrick Lamar say? Nah, that's a master manipulator. Like, cause if I gotta put you in a position that always need me, you always gotta, I'm gonna just give you crumbs. And we hear it a lot. Like if I'm a, nigga, what's $1,000? You know what I'm trying to say? But to you who don't have it, is a lot, and I know you gonna go to war for that $1,000. So me understanding that $48 of plot power, I'ma always feed you a little bit so you can be excited and do just enough to come back around.
But I ain't really just put me in position to be able to, you know, make my own thing, and I don't want to say no name, but they wind up catching it. The people that's over top of me, I mean, like I was signed to him, and Floyd signed to him. So the person that he said, okay, cool, I see what's going on. That's when he started taking over my career.
Mayweather's conceit extended beyond his relationships. He started showing off his money to the globe, which only served to increase the public's dislike of him.
I'm going to say this. Okay. Out of all these guys in the history of boxing,
yes,
I've accomplished more than every fighter in the history of boxing.
Okay, Ali.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali when he only had 7 fights.
Yes.
And if we really tell the truth,
well, that's what you're here for. You're here to tell the truth.
What's the heavyweight guy that Ali fought 3 times? Ken Norton, actually. Ken Norton really beat Ali all 3 times. Go back and look at the fights. I mean, we just telling the truth. And I love Ali, of course.
He was among the most despised because of his propensity to flaunt his opulent lifestyle and his divisive remarks. Historical boxing.
In all of my career, I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate that much. But the way he just blithely scoffed at Ali's accomplishments, it wasn't just disrespectful, Stephen A. Smith. It was flat out blasphemous. Now, to your credit, you did go back at him. You can't. Okay, and to Floyd's credit, you know what? Early in Ali's career, he did get dropped. Not by Bert Cooper, by Henry Cooper in London. He fought him twice in London. And he did get dropped, and he got right back up and won the fight.
The public's unfavorable opinion of him was only heightened by his comments, which included his conviction that he was the best despite the accomplishments of others.
You like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And
my most expensive watch that I currently own is $18 million.
One watch. And so you hate him. People hate him.
He creates envy.
Yes. Yeah, he creates envy, and you want him to lose, but he's not gonna.
Floyd, what does it mean for you to go out on your terms, not on anybody else's terms, but you to make the decision, you know what, this is it, I don't care what all you guys say, I'm out of here, I'm done?
I mean, I think I think I just had a game plan. I had a brilliant game plan. The game plan was to be very outspoken, you know. I was born with personality, I was born with charisma. Speak my mind, speak from the heart. You know, I don't hate or dislike anyone, but I want to go out there, you know, and just do what I have to do inside that square circle. Choose a tremendous team on the outside that's going to help me take things to the next level, and that's what I did.
It's a shot, but you know what it is. I think obviously with Floyd, he gets the biggest percentage of the purse, isn't it?
Yeah, but he can still get the biggest percentage
of the purse.
Yeah, but Ricky
against
Hatton's gonna want
Ricky.
more. He'll want more. He'll want more.
He want more.
Yeah.
But I'm sure when they fought in their heyday, Floyd got more.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know what I'm saying?
No, but Floyd wants like 95% more. 90% more. You know what I'm saying? It's not like...
He's like 95-5. Yeah, that's how he likes to do it, innit? Because I'm not gonna lie, if Floyd fought Ricky, both of them now, catch weight 154, O2 Arena, it will sell out.
It will sell out. It will sell out.